Yeah, my internet went out for a little bit today. The Starlink just was going.
All right, we're good. You all good?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's Michael and Dustin, I think. Brett, yours ain't.
Yep. No.
Yours
Oh, there we go.
Okay. All righty, it's 5:01. I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll begin with a quick roll call. Mr. Barton.
Here.
Mr. Freshour.
Here.
Dr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Chapman.
Here.
Dr. Minnick.
Here.
Good to go. If everybody stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have no delegations at this time. That'll move us into reports, and we'll begin with this Calhoun Gilmer Career Center Administrative Council report. Mr. Barton.
Okay, the good news is that the criminal justice instructor had resigned and took a job at the federal prison, and we now have his replacement. It is Peggy Runyon. She's former deputy sheriff and worked at Morgantown and teaches at the college, so she will be our new instructor. And we're looking forward to those things. And the kitchen upgrade has been put out to bid, so hopefully when we have our next meeting, I can come back and say who's got it, and tentatively maybe when construction can start. That's basically what I have from down there right now.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Barton. Next, we have the Policy Committee meeting report. I'll try to go through this pretty quick, but it's got some content to it. The Policy Committee met on July 30th, 2026 at 2 p.m. Members present was Dr. Tony Minnie, Cody Moore, JT Fox, Sherry West, Hillary Miller, and Lisa Moore, and participating by phone was Ginger Altizer. Dr. Minnie called the meeting to order and welcomed those in attendance. The committee reviewed the Green Book requirements and determined that no revisions or additional actions were needed at this time. There were no Neola policy updates to review. The committee discussed the alternative virtual handbook. The handbook will be distributed to committee members prior to the next meeting for review. We covered drug testing of employees policy. The committee reviewed an initial outline of the proposed drug testing employees policy. During discussions, members recommended that Section 6 include provisions related to blood testing. It was also noted that the language contained in Section 7 should be reviewed with legal counsel prior to finalization. Reasonable suspicion training has been scheduled for principals, bus drivers, and secretaries. The committee also discussed transportation-related drug testing requirements and agreed that van drivers would be addressed in a separate transportation policy. Members agreed to continue reviewing the draft policy and bring any suggested revisions to the next meeting. Next, we covered the Hope Scholarship tuition policy. The committee reviewed it, which is currently out for public comment. Dr. Minnie reported that the athletic fee schedule had been revised to reflect 1/12 of the Hope Scholarship amount. Billing procedures associated with the policy will also require further review, and public comments are due prior to the next meeting. We then went on to weight room usage requirements. The committee discussed the policy request on revising coaches' requirements related to weight room usage. Members agreed that caution should be exercised regarding public communication on the matter. Dr. Minnie noted that he and the district administrators had received several complaints concerning the issue. Mr. Fox reported that the coaches expressed appreciation during a recent coaches meeting that the proposed language was not changed from should to shall. No changes were made from the committee at that time. Student handbook review. The committee reviewed outcomes from the recent board meeting regarding proposed student handbook revisions. Discussion focused on language addressing rewards associated with athletic passes. The original recommendation from the leadership team combined attendance, behavior, and academic achievement criteria into a single framework. However, the board voted to separate the three categories for individual consideration. Committee members expressed concern that this action could significantly reduce athletic program revenue. As an example, it was noted that 261 honor roll students would qualify for free athletic passes without regard to attendance or behavior factors. The committee agreed that this administrative guideline may need to be revisited in a future meeting. We then went on to the graduation ceremony policy. The committee reviewed it and discussed several potential additions, corrections, and concerns. Discussion included the possibility of moving graduation ceremonies back to Friday evening due to lower attendance at Sunday events. Members agreed that additional discussion and stakeholder input would be necessary before any recommendations are to be made. The committee discussed policy development related to Alyssa's Law, House Bill 4798. Members noted that a policy cannot be finalized until the district identifies a vendor capable of providing the required wearable alert devices. Dr. Minnie will research potential vendors and present options to the committee for consideration. Policy development will continue once the devices have been identified. Under technology usage considerations, additional policy considerations related to technology use at lower grade levels were discussed. Dr. Minnie and Mrs. West agreed to develop a curriculum and technology usage list by grade level and present it to the policy committee at the next meeting to support future policy development considering technology usage. The next policy committee meeting will be held on August 27th, 2026 at 3 p.m. here at the board office, and with no further business to attend to, the meeting was adjourned. And that's the report from the policy committee. So that will now move us to the consent agenda, and we will start with approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of July 27th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 27, 2026.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the regular meeting minutes of July 26, 2026. Is there any further discussion or amendments on that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, next we have bills for payment. Ginger, you have the floor.
Okay, we're back to kind of our normal process. We are giving you a couple of, there's still a few things that are going back in the old year because they actually occurred in June, but everything else was pretty unremarkable.
Make a motion to approve the bills for payment.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the bills for payment as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, Ginger, back to you for the cash report of June and July.
Okay, sorry that I'm behind on that, but you do have two in front of you that gets us caught up. I did not do the additional report that we decided to do quarterly because June 30th is the end of the fiscal year, so you'll get all of your reporting, the entire packet, when we approve that in September. So any questions on those two reports?
Any questions on cash reports? Okay, hearing none, that was information only, doesn't need any action taken, so that'll move us to new business. And we'll start with approval of a 3-year bid with Hess Stewart and Campbell PLLC for an independent audit for fiscal years 2026, 2027, and 2028. Dr. Manning.
At the April 21st, 2026 regular meeting, the Board of Ed approved the solicitation of a 3-year bid for an independent CPA firm for the audit of the fiscal year 26 through 28. The audit committee met to review bids using the state auditor's procurement procedures, and I recommend making a motion to approve the audit bid as presented, and I've got to click here on the audit firm's name so I get this. Oh Lord, it's upside down.
Hess Stewart.
Hess
Campbell.
Stewart and Campbell PLLC for the contract amount of $58,500.
So moved. Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to accept the superintendent's recommendation to approve the audit bid as presented. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to permission to sell shop truck. Dr. Manning.
All right. Permission to sell. of course, we've got a new shop truck, and we'd like to get permission to sell the old shop truck. It is a 1995 shop truck using the public service auction site.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to declare the 1995 shop truck surplus so that it may be sold using the public surplus auction website. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, and we'll now move into old business and have discussion and possible action on the Gilmer County High School Student Handbook. Dr. Manning.
The only thing that I'm going to bring to your attention is the vote that we took last time about the students getting into the games for free as a reward. We've done the numbers on those. We had 261 make the honor roll. 64 have unexcused absence, and 343 went without a behavior referral. So that pretty much, with all three of those things combined, pretty much opened up for all students to get into every game for free. I've done a review of the athletic budget. Right now, there's around $4,000 sitting in the general fund, and I just wanted to bring to your all's attention and have the discussion that is going to put an immediate kind of hurt on the athletic fund, and kind of lead it up to you guys whether you want to combine two of those or go back to the way we had it, where the leadership team decided all three of those things or just two of those items, or leave it the way it is. But if we leave it the way it is, I feel like we would probably need to figure out a way to supplement the athletic fund, because we're not going to take any ticket revenue from students the way it is for the upcoming fall season, which would probably put us in a pretty good bind. I don't know if it would totally deplete the whole fund, but it would be a significant portion. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I just wanted to bring it to your attention. I know I've got the numbers in front of me. There was only 52 kids that would not receive a pass in the whole school due to behavior. So those 52 kids would not receive the pass because of behavior, but that doesn't mean that they weren't on the honor roll or they didn't have any of those unexcused absences. So we're talking 350 plus kids that would get in for free.
Okay, I'll open up the floor for discussion.
It doesn't sound like a very good incentive if everybody can get it.
I agree with that. I think we at least got to like cut it back a little bit, either make them have two of them or go to three of them.
I would.
I do like our kids going to games though. I mean, that's the part that I struggle with, but and I brought up to Tony, and I'm pretty sure I've talked to Larry about this too, but we also charge $7 across the board. And I think, subsided from the handbook that would be
The only thing that I
charged like
the
$5.
only thing that I want
Kids always get in cheaper, and you're a student. So I mean, like if you're going to go to a college game, you have student discount price. I mean, we don't have a student discount price, and I think that would also
But
help
we
too.
used to.
I know.
The only thing that I want you to be aware of is the
Can you
reason
get a
why we
discount?
the reason why we had to raise the ticket price is because we sat last summer and saw these accounts were like nothing in them.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why we said, okay, we're going to have to do something immediately with ticket prices, because we don't have enough money to pay. When you have
Yeah.
six umpires and
If you look at the number of students that went to a ball game, they all basically sit over in the student section. That's basically 12 rows of bleachers, 6 butts to a row. That's 75 kids. And the majority of those kids that are getting in, that are there, are athletes of winter sports or whatever. So a lot of them are getting in free anyway. If you gave out 300 tickets, those kids aren't there now. So that doesn't mean you're losing money. In fact, if they're not there now and all of a sudden you gave them a ticket and they showed up, you're going to make money because they're spending money at the concession stand.
which we don't get because it goes to the Boosters Club. We don't
But,
make.
well, yeah, but ultimately, the sports program gets that money. It ultimately goes back to whatever sport is running it. So they're getting the money one way or the other. If Austin does concessions, that money he makes the nights he's in there goes in his round ball account. Or if track does it, it goes in the track account, or it goes into the golf account when they do it. So
That's not how it goes in. Our Boosters Club is a separate 501c3, and they do not put money back into.
but what I'm
our
saying is,
account.
but Austin, when Austin works, or one of those coaches work, that money they acquire that night, ultimately, whether it's in account A or account B is irrelevant because he still has access to that.
No, he does not have access to it.
If he wants to get something, he's going to ask them and
And if they decide, that's right.
if they said no, he ain't going to work the ball game anymore. So, I mean, but ultimately, you're looking, we have other things for positive student behavior, and that's what this is. And if you want them to improve their behavior, whether that's attendance, whether that's GPA, and if you had 261 kids on the honor roll, that's another bucket of worms here, but that's 65% of the student population. And then look at our test scores, they're improving, but if 65% of them are on the honor roll, our test scores ought to be better than what they are, but that's my opinion. But I think for your money, what you're doing in one hand, you might be doing it here, but you're going to recover it over here. So parents only have X number of dollars. Like Brett said, $7 a pop. Kids and parents are deciding, what are you going to? Because they can't go to the rest of it. So in days gone by, those rewards were given out and it did not adversely affect the athletic account. So, but that's,
I do think that things are more expensive now. Like I know things like
sure,
this past year, we had to have 3 umpires on the baseball field instead of 2.
sure.
And things like that.
But then again, we pay out of the levy, we pay to stream the ball game. Now,
Yeah.
I'd much rather sit at home in my recliner
That's a good point too.
than go sit in that bleacher, because at my age, sitting in those bleachers, it takes me about an hour and a half to get limbered back up.
That's a great point you made though. What the streaming service that we use so we can give that to the general community so people don't have to or can save that ticket price. That comes with a fee. What is that price for that?
We covered the ticket. We covered
Correct.
all of it.
Correct, we covered
We
that. So
covered
what's
it
the
because we
difference
sold commercials.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that fee was covered by us going out and selling commercials to local business people.
Yeah, but there's still a fee. I was saying
There's a fee, yes.
It just costs money. It costs manpower. It costs time. I was saying it is a bigger beast, but I don't know. Anybody else?
Point of clarification, on the commercials you sold, that doesn't go back to the sports. It just is enough to cover the streaming service.
We bring that money in. We sell those commercials through our office here. And they did not have enough money in this. I don't think you guys realize how dire it is. They didn't have enough money to cover the streaming service. They didn't have enough money to cover Arbiter. They don't have enough money to cover a lot of different things that we're already supplementing. And this would cut out more of their funding that they're barely scrapping by with.
Arbiter is required by the WSSAC too. Now that's where we have to.
Well, my point was,
Hear all that,
is our commercial, this is more of also the community knows, when you're selling the commercials, it's supplementing the sports, but it's not enough to cover everything either.
It covers the cost
of the streaming service.
of not just the streaming service. It covers the cost that it cost us to have Huddle, which our coaches use.
Mm.
And they use that platform to break down their film so they can get and do other things so they can get ideas on how to beat the other team. It has stats. It's got all this other stuff. They have traditionally, I think they pay what, Ginger, $1,500?
I think so.
And that program costs 15,000. And there's about there's football, basketball, 2 basketball, football, and volleyball. So we supplement that from our end heavily, but this year we tried to figure out ways to cut our costs with it. So we sold commercials, which I think the community liked the commercials, and it got our local businesses highlighted.
When you say we supplement from our end, what fund is that this is coming out of?
Usually levy or general. They don't have enough money without our supplementation to run their athletic program the way it is.
So to me, that's a problem.
Right.
That's everywhere though, even up into NCAA.
I mean, yeah,
That's a given.
it's really expensive.
But back to the one, I still think that they should have two. Either have good grades and be there, or stay out of trouble and be there, or I think by giving all three, it is, like Dustin said, make them work a little bit.
Our concern was you can have a kid that the way that we just currently set it up, you can have a kid that never has shown up to school all semester, but has 0 behavior referrals because they weren't there to get the behavior referral, and they would get a free athletic pass.
Or has good grades, just doesn't know how to behave and spends all year at the ALC and can still, it doesn't reflect. It needs to reflect a little bit.
I would lean back to just put it back to the way it was and figure out the more complex issue of sports funding. But I mean, I think it's a bigger problem, and it would be easier to have less variables to start with and then figure it out. Mostly also because we have to just get this thing done, this handbook.
Yeah.
Also.
Our sports funding, people think that there's a lot of money from the levy that's in there. I think the last levy had $111,000 allocated when we made the levy, correct? And I think when I asked Ginger how much we spent just on coach's salary with load alone, it was 94.
So I think that's a bigger discussion possibly for another day, as I would like to see actually how much money and where it's coming from to run the sports the way it's run now.
So we did get with the high school and pull and I kind of figured that would be at a later time,
Yeah.
but I did pull what's in those funds, and there's not tons of money in there in those sports programs.
Okay.
I think that we're going to face a lot of backlash from coaches if we do this, or staff, or whoever else we want to let in for free, without having a plan on how we get money into those programs. If we have a plan down to where we know this is what it takes to run it and this is where it's coming from, I think we'd be fine. But to not know that moving into it, it's going to leave some funds that'll be in the red.
We can always revisit this too and change it again later. So, right? I mean, because it's just a student award. So,
Yeah.
I mean, once we get a better idea of something,
Yeah, that's the end. What we need to answer today is just, do we want to change that part of the
This one would take immediate impact, and within in the next couple weeks, we would already be losing revenue off of this one.
We really wouldn't lose it unless we had it, but yeah, we created it last year by increasing ticket sale prices, but I do understand that, but it's just,
But I don't know how many times we supplemented athletic programs, but we supplemented a lot.
so we're looking for a motion here. What are we doing?
We're going to do something. Maybe you're going to leave it
Yeah.
the way it is. I mean, because what he's saying is we voted last meeting to allow them as long as they're on one of the 3 lists.
Right.
So we're either going to have to keep it that way, we're either going to have to shorten it back, or
Because
whatever.
of the financial part of it, I don't think I think that we do need to make a change. And we either need to go back to the way it was, or at least say 2 of them, or
Well,
Look at it
which do you
bigger.
want to make a motion to do, Brett?
I will make a motion that we go back to the original wording from
Okay.
the previous version.
Second.
So all three of them together. Is that correct? My understanding, Dr. Manning?
That's what it sounds like.
I think just for fiscal, I mean, I want to keep
I mean, it's
sports.
just a student award.
I don't want to be in the red in anything. Like I want to have good accounts. So
We can revisit it later.
Yeah.
too. So it's just a,
I can live with that.
We may want to put a work session together to look at all of that funding.
I think that's a great idea. Just do an hour long like we did before
Right.
and have Ginger bring, money that you all were spending out. Again, we got high school, at least, because I asked for that before. That's what I was showing Hillary. I've already asked for the
Money
high
is
school
coming in.
accounts and they
Coming in,
and they
coming
got that for me. So I've started to look at some of that, but I think everybody's just going to have to look and actually to truly see what's coming in, what's going out, and see what the plan is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be helpful for the public too, to see what the bottom line is that we spend in a year, what the levy covers, and what we're supplementing out of what funds. So that would help me be better informed.
Okay, so the motion and the second on the floor is to revert back to the original language in the handbook that said they have to have behavior,
I can read it.
academics, and attendance all as one to be able to receive a sports pass. Is that everybody's understanding? Before I clarify, any other questions, comments, concerns on the motion? Hearing none. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hey,
Okay, any abstentions? I abstain. Motion carries. All right, so we now are on to personnel. Dr. Mendy.
Recommendation for hire for professional employees: Amy Nicholas, Assistant Principal, Gilmer County Elementary School; Craig Arthur, Science Teacher, Gilmer County High School; Claudette Reynolds, Substitute Teacher, all locations.
Make a motion to approve the professional portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the professional portion of the personnel agenda as presented by the superintendent. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. On to extracurricular.
Extracurricular recommendations: Tanya Stewart, homebound, developmentally delayed instructor, all locations; Sharon Jones, homebound instructor, all locations; Madeline Tuzing, night, homebound instructor, all locations; Raven Friends, special education, homebound; Ronnie Facemeyer, mentor, teacher, ag, ed, GCHS; Leslie Campbell, healthy choices tutor, Gilmer County Elementary School.
Make a motion to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the extracurricular portion of the personnel agenda as presented by the superintendent. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. On to resignations.
Resignation to accept Alicia Martin, CIS liaison, effective July 27th, 2026. Tanya Wine, mini Titan cheer coach, effective July 23rd, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the resignations of the personnel agenda.
So moved.
Okay.
Or second. Sorry, excuse
Yep,
me.
you're good. So it's been properly moved and seconded to approve the resignations portion of the personnel agenda as presented by the superintendent. Is there any further discussion or amendments to that main motion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. All right, and that'll take us out of personnel. Get my computer to work. And we'll move down to continuous improvement, which we have nothing, and that'll put us to the superintendent's update. Dr. Menny.
We just got a couple open houses here coming, one tonight and one tomorrow. We had just got back our staff today. We had a good opening day. They're going to be going through training the next few days. And that was very well attended, and everybody seemed to be in good spirits and ready to get back in there and get back in classes. We will probably have a little bit of, movement now since we've had a couple other positions. So it could be another special meeting maybe at some point in time before the 24th, just so we can get regular teachers in our classrooms with our students. The bulletin will start back this week. So you'll get an update with all the month of August and so on and so forth events. So you guys can have access to plans and so forth. So we're ready to start. We're excited for the year and we welcome the students back to school.
All right, and now we'll move into board member comments and start with Mr. Chapman.
Yeah, just to what we discussed this evening, I want all the kids to go to the games. I think, a lot of you guys will feel the same way. I do want everybody to go, but it is, everything has a price. And, we do have to have good accounts and be fiscally responsible. And that's what we're trying to do. It's not that, we're hating on any kids that aren't in sports or, play that season or anything like that. It's just, we have to be fiscally responsible. So.
I have nothing this time. Dr. Miller.
Welcome back to school. It's going to be a fantastic year, and I can't wait to see all the smiling faces in the buildings and enjoy your last couple days and then get hard to work. So we'll see you soon.
Mr. Fresher.
Same. Welcome back.
Mr. Barton.
Same thing. Welcome back. Hope we have a good year.
All right. If that is all the board member comments, do you have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. We adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Well.